Point Park women's basketball captures a huge win, the Pittsburgh Steelers make a shocking move, and the NFL postseason is nearing its final game. It's time to come on down to Pioneer Sideline. Good evening and welcome to Pioneer Sideline. I'm Bryn Reese, back for another week of sports news. We have all the Point Park and national news for you, as well as a Pioneer Sideline first with some NFL trivia. To start, Edmi Dallas joins us with an update on Point Park Track and Field's busy weekend.
That's right, Bryn. This past Friday and Saturday was eventful for indoor track and field. Both teams traveled to participate in the Dr. Sanders Scorcher Invitational in Bronx, New York, and the Ashland Collegiate Invitational in Ashland, Ohio. The Dr. Sanders Scorcher Invitational in particular is a great opportunity for these young athletes as it brings them into the Armory, a facility that has been graced by world-renowned racers. In this two-day invitational, many pioneers positively stood out against their opponents. On day one, Dunya van den Toren was first on that list with her triple jump performance. She earned first place with a length of 11.73 meters, a number that also puts her second in school history. Van den Toren was named the Mountain East Conference Indoor Track and Field Athlete of the Week for the second time this season. She currently ranks first in the MEC in the triple jump and high jump events. But don't close those school books just yet, because the athletes went on to continue placing themselves in Point Park history. As for the men, the distance medley relay team of Pedro Lemos, Maxwell Eaton, Chase Bowen, and Elijah Bechtel came through with a new school record of 10 minutes, 10 seconds, and 27 milliseconds, which earned them second place in the meet. Rounding out day one for the men was Ike Vanderlei, who achieved a time of 8 minutes, 47 seconds, and 48 milliseconds in the 3,000 meter race, which is now the second fastest time for Point Park. On day two, Maxwell Eaton placed fourth in the 200 meter race with a time of 22 seconds, 43 milliseconds. And lastly, Akeem Mustafa, who is the current school record holder for the long jump, got second in the event with a length of 7.01 meters. On that same Saturday, nearly 500 miles away in Ashland, Ohio, other track and field events were taking place. The women had two top 10 placements, both of which were for the shot put event. Alexis Heller placed 7th with 11.77 meters, and Gabriella Wesney followed at 8th with 11.67 meters. Jonah Schneider and Ben Williams earned 4th and 5th in school history with their performance in the shot put event. Moving forward, indoor track and field will go back to Youngstown, Ohio for the YSU Collegiate Mid-Major on Friday, January 30th and Saturday, January 31st. Good luck, Pioneers. Now back to Bryn with the latest on Point Park's women's basketball team.
The women's basketball team picks up its second straight win after recovering from a 7-game slide as the Pioneers captured a massive victory versus the D2 independent Salem University 71-42 on Saturday at home. The Pioneers had a suspiciously close first half, entering halftime 29-28 in the lead. Point Park then held the Tigers to only 4 points in the third quarter. Salem went 2 for 16 from the field, and the Pioneers took off with a 25-point quarter. Point Park held on to that lead, slightly extending it, closing the game with a 29-point dub. Lucia Ervia, the junior transfer from Spain, recorded her career high on the afternoon with 13 points. Leading the night in scoring, senior Alexis Giles scored 16 points for the Pioneers. Point Park shot 42.4% from the field, staggering over Salem's 24.3% field goal success in 70 total attempts. Salem lengthens its cold streak with now 12 straight losses, 15 on the season, and 1 win. Point Park looks to begin a hot streak, pining for a third straight win on Wednesday, January 28th versus conference opponent Davidson-Elkins on the road. One of Point Park's 2 conference wins this season occurred against Davidson-Elkins earlier this season. Now that's all for Point Park sports, but we have a whole lot more in the week ahead. Men's and women's basketball travel to West Virginia to take on Davidson-Elkins on January 28th. Both teams then return for a Friday doubleheader against West Virginia Wesleyan. Indoor track and field returned to Youngstown for the third time this season for the YSU Collegiate Mid-Major on Friday and Saturday. And finally, men's wrestling competes in its first ever Mountain East Conference Championship on Saturday in West Virginia. Tune in for more Pioneer updates right here next week, and as always, go Pioneers! After the break, Stiller news and national updates that you don't want to miss. We will be right back. Welcome back. Megan Lukic is in the studio with the long-awaited update on the future of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's right. The search for the next head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers is officially over. The team announced on Saturday that Mike McCarthy is set to be the new head coach of the Steelers after a verbal agreement was reached between the two parties. McCarthy, who is a native of Pittsburgh, has 18 seasons of NFL head coaching experience, most recently heading up the Dallas Cowboys, who he was with for 5 seasons, making the playoffs in 3 of those 5 years. McCarthy also coached the Green Bay Packers for 13 seasons, leading them to a championship in 2011. McCarthy was one of 3 candidates that the Steelers held an in-person interview with during their coaching search. Minnesota Vikings defensive coordinator Brian Flores and former Miami Dolphins defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver were also among those that were given in-person interviews before McCarthy ultimately landed the job. Following the announcement, Steelers owner and team president Art Rooney II spoke on the decision to hire McCarthy, saying, quote, "He is someone who has a longer track record than many of the other candidates, a winning track record. He's been a winner everywhere he's been," end quote. Rooney also cited McCarthy's success with developing quarterbacks as another key reason to his hiring. The future of the Steelers' quarterback position remains a question mark, however, as Aaron Rodgers ponders the next step in his career. McCarthy previously coached Rodgers during his entire 13-year tenure in Green Bay. Now for what's happening nationally, Ryan Quinn tells us about an iconic duo making an appearance at the Winter Olympics. Ryan?
You got it, Megan. The Olympic torch relay has been a tradition to get people excited for the upcoming Olympics for 90 years. From athletes to celebrities, a lot of names have helped carry the flame for the opening ceremony of the Games. So how did 2 unknown actors 3 months ago add themselves to the list of torch bearers? Hudson Williams and Connor Story, the stars of the hit show Heated Rivalry, have been named as the Olympic torch bearers for the 2026 Winter Olympic Games in Italy. For those who have not heard of the show, Williams and Story portray Shane Hollander and Ilya Rozanov respectively, fictional hockey players who are perceived to hate each other. The truth? A love affair between the two for a majority of their career. The spicy romance written by Rachel Reed and then adapted by Jacob Tierney has taken over the hockey world. Multiple teams in the NHL have had references to the show, and Williams and Story have taken the stardom, being on late-night shows and having a segment on the Golden Globes. All of the fandom has resulted in the actors being the torchbearers for the event. They were seen on Sunday in Feltre, Italy, both in awe of the reception they received. It makes you wonder, will another sports show be able to hit the levels that Heated Rivalry hit? Now, on to Nate Shivens on the new unlikely Pro Bowl quarterback. Nate?
Shedeur Sanders is once again grabbing the headlines. It was announced earlier this week that the Cleveland Browns rookie quarterback has been named to the 2026 NFL Pro Bowl games, replacing New England Patriots quarterback Drake May, who will be competing in the big game the following week. The news shocked many fans and NFL commentators alike, as Sanders didn't exactly light the world on fire in 2025. He completed just 56.6% of his throws for 1,400 yards, with 7 touchdowns and 10 interceptions, amounting to a 68.1 passer rating and an 18.9 QBR. While there were crucial injuries to AFC quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes of the Kansas City Chiefs and Joe Burrow of the Cincinnati Bengals, seemingly worthy replacement candidates like Jacksonville Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence and Baltimore Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson were seemingly omitted in favor of Sanders. Nonetheless, the soon-to-be 24-year-old becomes the first Cleveland Browns quarterback to make the Pro Bowl since Derek Anderson in 2008. Sanders joins Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills and Justin Herbert of the Los Angeles Chargers as the AFC quarterback representatives for the games, which will take place on Tuesday, February 3rd. Back to you, Bryn.
Next, more breaking sports news. Don't go anywhere.
It's a tough crowd.
Welcome back. Now to our NFL reporter Gabe Ebersol with a rundown on the NFL Conference Championship weekend.
That is right. Championship Sunday was a tale of two games, but both went down to the wire. Let's review the relentlessness it takes to make the final game of the NFL season. Starting in the AFC, where 76,000 packed into Mile High Stadium, miracle hopeful. And it looked like there may be an outside possibility. After exchanging 3 and outs to open, Marvin Mims, field-flipping 52-yarder, sets the table for Captain Cortland Sutton. He scores the game's first from 6 ticks out. Second quarter would home 8 drives total. One of those a Broncos fumble and followed up by an inspiring 12-yard touchdown drive by Drake May. With the weather starting to impose its will on the game, windy conditions, each team would whiff a long kick right before the half and head into the lockers knotted at 7 apiece. New England bled the Broncos defense for the third, 16 of their 24 plays in the period coming on a half-opening field goal drive. After only 3 offensive plays in that third, the Broncos only had to take advantage of a 33-yard field to take the lead. Worst case scenario, not only do they settle for the 3, the kick gets erased by Leonard Taylor III. Defense gets one more 3 and out, but on the final drive, right here on the second play, you can look real close and watch Jared Stidham's chance at another contract disappear with this throw that ends the game, ends the season. Total game had 122 plays, go for 387 yards. Not sure how anyone could deny Drake May the MVP after this awe-inspiring performance. Chance to break the tie at the top of the league with Pittsburgh. Patriots return to the Bowl for the first time since victorious 2019 when they bested the LA Rams. Now, would we get a rematch of that 2019 finale? Rams with one foot in the door, they're taking on the NFC West champs and rival Seattle Seahawks. Everything on the line in their third and tie-breaking matchup for the season. Seattle strikes first. Shaheed sheds the defense for a bomb, and Kenneth Walker caps the drive. Puka would warm up. 44-yard catch sets up a field goal drive that Seattle responds to before quarters close. 10-7 after 1. LA leaning on their kicker. Mavis up and good. Gathering momentum, the defense forces a stop, and Kyron Williams crosses the boundary. But not so fast. This year's receiving king commanded the response, hauling in a pair of passes before punctuating the drive, taking the lead back with 20 ticks till the break. It's JSN. And home team 17-13 at half, they would get a bigger break in the third. After an early drive stalling sack, punt is muffed at the LA 17. And just 5 game seconds later, Rams went from a chance to surge for the lead to watching Jake Bobo bust it down in the end zone. The veteran Matthew Stafford isn't standing for this. He goes deep successfully twice before drawing back close, but these NFC West powerhouses going back and forth more than a swing set. The winner of the 2021 Triple Crown, huge on third down. Former Ram Big Bowl MVP Cooper Kupp. But the Rams didn't just move on from Coop. They replaced him with other elite weapons, like Devontae Adams, big catch right here. Or like Puka Nacua with the touchdown catch right here. But they oddly don't go for 2, which bites them when they find themselves down 4 on 4th. 5 minutes remain. Seattle's defense stays solid, and the top seed will take it home from there, have a chance to avenge the Malcolm Butler mishap against New England 12 years down the line. Sam Darnold's time as a backup, one of the only 5 players with experience on this Seattle squad. Unfortunately, a sign of dark times ahead, but we had the first week with no NFL action in months. Calendar now calls for perfect timing at the Pro Bowl. Catch it February 3rd at 6:30 on ESPN.
That's all for this week's NFL Update. I'm Ethan Van Duzen, joined alongside me, Ryan Thiele, to give our thoughts on who will host the Lombardi Trophy. Ryan, thank you for joining me tonight.
Anytime.
Seems like we're back in the mid-2010s as we're talking about the Patriots and Seahawks back in the big game. What are you anticipating from these two teams, and who is your favorite going into this game?
So what I think is going to happen this year is that I think it's going to be the opposite of what happened when Seattle and Patriots played when it came down that 1-yard line. I don't even think it's going to be that close. I had this game being a 15-point difference between Seattle and for the Patriots. I think Seattle's offense is just going to overpower that defense that the Patriots have. And right now, then let's go to the other side of the ball. Seattle's defense, they get after the quarterback, and Drake May is probably the most sacked quarterback in the league right now. Like it's bad. Like it's as bad as Joe Burrow back in 2022. So I don't think this game's going to be that close. It's still going to be a good game because anything can happen. But for right now, I have Seattle winning. I have Seattle winning by 15.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you kind of mentioned Drake May's struggles in the postseason so far. I mean, obviously 6 turnovers in his first 2 games, and then you look at the AFC Championship against the Broncos, only 86 passing yards. So, I mean, overall, I feel like Seattle's just going to overwhelm the Patriots offensively and defensively. So far, statistically, they're ahead of the Patriots in almost every category. And, like, there's just too many playmakers on Seattle, and I just feel like the Patriots aren't going to be able to combat that. And obviously, Seattle's schedule has been much tougher this year. The Patriots have had the 3rd easiest schedule since 1978. And obviously, Seattle's in the best division of football. They're battle tested, and I think they're ready to go.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. Even at the playoff schedule, if you look through, there's only one team in the top 5 in defense that the Patriots played all year, and that was against Denver last week. And then Seattle, they played the Rams, San Francisco, 2 of the top defenses in the league right now as we sit here. So if we're just putting it out there what the season's been, I think Seattle is more battle tested. And yes, is there a lot of moving pieces in Seattle with Robert Saleh leaving, a couple other defensive guys and offensive guys moving away from the team? There's a lot of like behind the scenes stuff happening. Yes, It doesn't matter. This is the big game. They're going to lock in and they're going to hammer down honestly a rookie quarterback when it comes to a big stage. And Drake May cannot perform in there. He had that trouble in college, and he's still continuing in the pro.
Yeah. I mean, if there is a way for the Patriots to come out on top in this game, what do you think they're going to have to do?
That defense is going to be sound. They're going to have to double coverage JSN most of the game, and then hope that they have their linebackers try and spy on Cooper Kupp, because Cooper Kupp is another quarterback for Seattle. He knows every defense. He just finds a hole, sits there, and sits down. So they're going to find a way to at least stop them two from moving the ball.
Yeah, it seems like Seattle's going to be more familiar with where they're playing. Obviously, they're playing in the 49ers Stadium. It's a West Coast game. Seattle's located on the West Coast, so we'll see what happens. And that is all for your news this week. Finally, we debut Pioneer Sideline Trivia. Don't go anywhere.
Take them, cue them, open their mics.
Today marked the 1-year anniversary of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette strike.
Point Park University just hosted a campus-wide meeting. Rapid Transit bus line are not set to conclude until 2025.
Welcome back. Now for our newest segment, I'm joined by Nick Shermito, Becca Trulich, and Connor Howard for some NFL postseason trivia. Now the following questions all relate to strictly the 2025-26 playoffs, including players who are eliminated and those who are going to the big game. Some questions will have multiple answers, some have one. The first person to answer each question out loud gets priority. If you get the question wrong or answer a multi-answer question, your fellow contestant, or you get one wrong. You guys get it. I explained it to you guys. We're just going to get into it. For those of you at home, feel free to play along. Are you all ready?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Okay, amazing. Our first question is a top 4 question. So we're looking for 4 players. You're going to name one. Name one of the 4 oldest offensive players in age that are going to the big game.
Age.
Oldest.
Stephon Diggs.
Boom. Do you have an answer?
I don't.
Okay, you guys both got a point. Those were both right. Good work, guys.
That was horrible.
Cooper Kupp is 32, and Stephon Diggs is also 32. So, this next one, I'm looking for a top 1. We got 1 point each. Connor, you're still looking to get on the board, okay? So, top 1, there's one answer. Who has the most passing yards in the AFC in the playoffs? Most passing yards in the AFC in the playoffs. Anyone?
Josh Allen.
Yes, that is right. Drake May is second. Josh Allen is first. So Connor is on the board. Give it up for Connor. Come on now. Okay. Next is a top 5. This one has 5 answers. You guys can name any of them. A player with the most receiving yards thus far over the age of 24.
Over the age of 24?
Most receiving yards in the whole league in the playoffs over the age of 24.
I have a guess. I might get his first name wrong. Kenneth Williams III?
No.
Okay, I tried.
It was not one. Think about one of them is extra old.
One of those
He's
extra
like old.
old?
Yeah, I
Extra
think
old?
it's his last season or one of his last seasons.
Oh.
He just lost.
Oh.
Just Puka Nakua?
No, he's young.
Okay.
On the
He's
Rams.
too
He is
young.
on the
He's
Rams.
on the Rams.
Oh. No. It's a wide
Okay.
receiver.
5,
Wide receiver, wide
4,
receiver.
It's a wide
Cooper
receiver.
Kupp?
3, 2, no, 1. Devontae Adams is
Oh.
old. He's like 32.
I
Christian
forgot he
Kirk,
existed.
Khalil Shakir, Colby Parkinson, and Romeo Doubs.
Okay.
I forgot Romeo.
Okay, we're all tied 1-1-1. Now this is a top 1. What team kicked the most field goals in the playoffs? And also, if you all guess and get it wrong, you guys can all guess again.
Okay.
So don't be so
okay.
scared to get it wrong.
Oh, okay.
Field goals.
Field goals.
Give me something. Something.
Texans.
No, they're not going to the big game.
Patriots?
They're not going to the big game.
Oh, they're not.
They're not.
Broncos?
Okay.
No. Any more guesses?
Oh, could it be the Niners?
No.
Bills.
No.
Steelers?
No. Okay. With 6 field goals, it is the LA Rams.
Oh.
Everyone's still tied 1-1-1, okay?
I guess the Rams are
Okay.
like every answer.
Yeah,
is,
literally.
so
Yes.
just guess
So,
Rams if you don't
tied
know.
for first, but top 2, technically, but they're
Okay.
tied for the first. What player has the most touchdowns in the playoffs?
Puka Nakua.
Nope.
No?
Kenneth Williams III?
Is it Smith
K9.
Jigba?
You don't get to guess anymore.
Jackson Smith and Jigba.
K9 was 1, so Becca has a point. Becca, any of you guys can guess again.
Sutton?
Nope. Kyron Williams. They both have 4. So Becca is in the lead. Okay, next one. Top 3. What defense has the most sacks in the playoffs?
Texans.
That is number 2, actually. Looking for
Oh.
the number 1 spot.
Ooh, that actually was going to be my guess.
That was going to be my guess too.
I think we all going to guess that.
We have the first and
Um,
third place defense on the list.
Okay. 49ers?
No,
Patriots?
they are first. The Patriots have the most sacks in the playoffs. So we are tied again, 2-2-2. This is a close game. So next up, top 3 quarterbacks who threw the most interceptions in the playoffs thus far.
Drake May?
No. We have 2 tied for first. Threw the most interceptions. Name a quarterback.
Oh, like pure interceptions.
Yes.
No second guessing my answer.
Yes. Beck already answered. Connor and Nick.
Okay,
I need
okay.
something.
No, it definitely wasn't him. Could it have been?
It's not Aaron Rodgers.
No. That's not what I was gonna say. Although it would probably be up there. Could it
Connor-
be Stroud?
First place. Tied for first place is Stroud. Connor, do you have an answer?
Drake May.
No. So tied with CJ Stroud with 5 interceptions is Caleb Williams, and then in third place, or technically second place, is Brock Purdy. So this, I guess, is the tiebreaker. Top 1. What quarterback has been sacked the most in the playoffs?
CJ Stroud.
No.
I'm not guessing.
That's exactly what I'll try not to do. Caleb Williams?
No.
Drake May.
It is Drake May and Nick Shermito. You win. Fun fact about Drake May. He has 15 sacks in the playoffs. Every game he's gotten sacked 5 times, which is the only player in NFL history to be sacked 5 times in 3 consecutive games.
Oh,
He's going
the
to the
big
big
game.
Yeah.
That's so.
So, Nick Shermito, you win by a landslide of 4 points. The rest of you had 2, and that is. Do that again. That is all the time
GG's.
we have this week.
GG's,
Handshakes. Thank you. Be sure to join us next week at the same Pioneer time, the same Pioneer channel, and the same Pioneer Sideline.